Hi everyone, my name is Felicia Goosen and I'm a youth wellness counselor and a certified life coach. I'm also the founder of FG Wellness and I'm so excited to share a little bit of my journey with you. So I was born in Thailand, Bangkok. My mother was set up as a drug mule and she gave birth to me there. I stayed in prison for 3 years up until I had to leave Thailand. My mother Vanessa's best friend Melanie Holmes and her husband Hilton Holmes came to Thailand and they chose to foster me. I grew up in South Africa from the age of 3. So growing up I struggled with a lot of feelings and thoughts of feeling unworthy, feeling like a mistake. I felt so alone and rejected. I was just constantly sad. So growing up, I really struggled in school. I then started developing anxiety. I self-harmed. I tried to commit suicide more than 8 times. It was a very, very tough, confusing time in my life. I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder, anxiety disorder. I had chronic ulcers. I also had a somatic pain that I would constantly go through. So at the age of 19, memories flooded of me as a 3-year-old, and that took me deeper into depression. And at that time, I was still struggling with my mother Melanie. So my foster mom, passed away about 4 months before my mother Vanessa got released from prison. So my mother Vanessa was in prison for 16 and a half years. So when I saw her, I was 16 years old. And at that time, I lost my mother Melanie. And you can imagine what loss I felt. It was at 3 years old, I felt ripped away from my mother Vanessa, and at the age of 16, I got ripped away from my mother Melanie. She loved me as her own. I loved her. She was my mother. So it was a very, very difficult time. At 19, I finally wrote my final suicidal letters to my family, saying goodbye. But then I chose to heal at that point where my mother Vanessa told me it's either I sit here and feel sorry for myself or I get up and make a difference. And that was the time when she shared Jesus with me. And at that point I was addicted to alcohol as well, to suppress what I was going through. And I thought about it. I was like, what else is there to try? Let me try Jesus, and if Jesus doesn't work out, I will then continue with my big plan. She led me through a prayer. I accepted Jesus in my life. And for the first time, I never felt alone anymore. I felt that there is someone looking out for me and I'm not a mistake. It was the first time I realized that I was not a mistake. So from then, I chose to heal. And the story continues, and I'm here today, and I'm so grateful and thankful for this journey. I would like to encourage you all and thank you for loving these kids, where their biological family or parents are unable to raise them. So I just want to thank you for that, and I'm sure it's not easy. I gave my mother Melanie a very tough time. She really tried so hard to show me she loves me, and I knew she did. And she was my mom. I call my mother Vanessa, and I call my mother Melanie, Mommy. So I just like to encourage you that love goes beyond blood. A mom goes beyond blood. It is the choice to raise, the choice to love. And without the stable home I was raised in, I wasn't able to be afforded all the opportunities that I was given. And the stability the stability that helped me through. However, inside of myself, I felt like I didn't belong. No matter how much love they gave me, I couldn't accept their full love. And it's one of the things I regret when I realized that I was living in an orphan mentality for so long. And since my mother Melanie passed away, I wasn't able to get that opportunity with her again. So I just would like to encourage you and let you know that love breaks through barriers. You know, it changes lives, as much as maybe sometimes it might not look like it. But it does make a big difference. So I'd just like to encourage you and thank you for, you know, taking your time and opening your home, opening your heart to be foster parents to your children. And my siblings and my father and mom, Hilton and Melanie, they were never my foster parents. You know, when I have to explain, then I use the term, but they're my parents. You know, my siblings are my siblings. The rest of my story is in my book that I recently launched called Present Child. So it accounts for what I've gone through and the thoughts that I had, and just working through the unworthiness, the mistake, the neglect that I felt, and just God restoring that in my life at this moment after I chose to heal. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Have an amazing conference.